songs, let me tell you about a friend. It's Craig LeBlanc where the good times never end. Talking Parks and Rec, it's a show you gotta know. Welcome one and all to the Daily Parks and Rec Show. It's the Daily Parks and Rec Show.
Honestly, women in Parks and Recreation, or women in the Parks and Recreation field, have always been kind of like the underdog, where there haven't been a lot of women in the leadership roles in Parks and Recreation. And we do see that transitioning a little bit more now. Really, that was another reason that this group was created, is because we could all come together. We could not only vent, but we could talk about how we could help each other grow and get more into the leadership role.
Welcome back to the Daily Parks and Rec Show Leadership Series. In this episode, we're joined by Tracy Houk, Assistant Director for the town of Huntersville, and Kristen Herndon, Client Experience Manager at WithersRavenel. Join us to talk about leadership growth, navigating career pivots, and why women-led networks like Women in Parks and Rec are shaping the future of this profession. From grant writing wins to community building during COVID, this conversation highlights what it really takes to lead with purpose in parks and recreation. Let's dive in.
All right, we are live. This is Craig LeBlanc, the Daily Parks and Rec Show, Monday technical issues edition. I've got Tracy and Kristen live from the Parks and Rec Convention of North and South Carolina. Is today, when does it really get cranked up?
Today.
Today's the day?
Yeah.
Today.
Okay.
Yeah. The first session is at 1. Right now you can check in from 11 to 2, and then the keynote speaker is at like 2:15. Yep.
Man, what's the temperature over there? It is like freezing. It is 59 degrees in New Orleans, which is like almost shut the city down temperature over here.
It's the same and cloudy.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're not used to it. That's why we live in New Orleans, so that we don't have this problem. All right, we're going to run a little promo for the new YPN show. So we have a Young Professionals Network show. It was formerly on Fridays, but I have 2 interns, Michael and Aiden, which are extremely talented up in Pennsylvania, that are now running the YPN show. They created this promo by themselves with the help of one of our video editors, but I didn't touch it. I didn't do anything. And so they're going to create another iteration, but I thought this was a good one for them. And then right after that, we're going to play a promo for if you are a vendor in the Parks and Rec world and would like to help us co-create the greatest media company exclusively for Parks and Rec. Gives you a little information on that. And then we'll come back and start our conversation about women in I almost said women in Bitcoin. Sorry, that was my previous life.
That's not
I don't know anything about Bitcoin, so yeah.
I don't either.
I know everything. I know so much, it just oozes out of me. I can't even stop it. But I had some friends that were part of a Women in Bitcoin, and that was a tiny, tiny group. It seems like it's only males, the male thing, but there are a few. All right, so we'll play these 2 promos, and then we'll come back and talk about Women in Bitcoin. So
Okay.
hold on 1 second.
Not women in Bitcoin.
Not Bitcoin.
Right.
Not Bitcoin.
Women in Parks and Rec. Yes, thank y'all. It's just Monday. It's Monday. That's what it is. All right, hold on.
On the Daily Parks and Rec Show, we bring you the real stories of tomorrow's professionals, people shaping the future, one idea at a time. Meet the very first DPRS interns to officially host their own segment, Aiden Tierney and Michael Morrow. With curiosity, passion, and a fresh perspective, they're stepping into the spotlight to lead meaningful conversations with today's rising leaders. The Young Professionals Network takes you inside the journeys, challenges, and major wins of young individuals making their mark across industries. From first jobs to bold ventures, every story fuels growth, ambition, and innovation. Each episode brings real conversations, fresh perspectives, and impactful insights created to motivate the next generation of professionals. Whether you're just starting out, exploring new paths, or figuring out your next move, tune in to the Young Professionals Network every Thursday at 5 p.m. only on the Daily Parks and Rec Show. Don't miss it, because your next big idea might be one story away. Are you a vendor, brand, or service provider ready to connect with the heartbeat of local communities? At DPRS Media Co., we tell the stories shaping parks and recreation across America. Through podcasts, live streams, videos, and newsletters, we reach frontline leaders, city directors, and decision makers every single week. From youth sports and facilities to programming and policy, our audience is your audience. Sponsoring or partnering with DPRS Media Co. puts your brand in front of the professionals who build, budget, and buy for their communities. Launching a new product? Growing your presence in public spaces? Targeting cities, counties, or departments? DPRS is your trusted media partner. Whether you're in software, turf, aquatics, robotics, smart cities, or special events, partnering with DPRS puts your brand in the story. With commercials, interviews, social campaigns, newsletters, and live shows, we're your media team. Partner with us and grow your impact in the $200 billion parks and rec industry. DPRS Media Co. Stories that move parks and rec forward. Your audience is here. Let's meet them.
All right. So first of the year, little update. We are launching 3 new shows for the Daily Parks and Rec show. One's going to be Her Sports, which is we have a professional soccer player, former professional soccer player, that's talking to professional athletes and what it's like being a female in playing pro sports. We also are launching one for the military parks and recreation. We'll have our first teaser episode December 16th. And then we're launching a smart cities show in Parks and Rec, how all these cities are starting to become interconnected with all their devices and everything. So those are 3 new shows we'll be launching in January.
That's
and maybe we can launch a Women in Parks and Rec show. Hint, hint. But Tracy and Kristen, why don't y'all introduce yourself to the country and tell us a little bit about who you are and what you do in Parks and Rec.
Okay. My name's Tracy Houk, and I'm the assistant director for the town of Huntersville in North Carolina. I started there as the superintendent and have moved my way up to assistant director, and I've been there for about, I think 13 years. I'm originally from Ohio, and I've also worked for the city of Cincinnati, city of Dublin, city of Bexley, and I graduated from Eastern Kentucky University.
Fantastic. Kristen?
Hey everyone, I'm Kristen Herndon. Oh no, did I go out?
Keep going, keep going.
Okay. I'm a client experience manager for WithersRavenel, and WithersRavenel is a multifaceted civil engineering firm, but my whole background is in parks and recreation. So just like Tracy, I was an assistant director for Person County Parks and Recreation, but I've also worked in municipal parks and recreation for about 10 years. And before that, I did collegiate recreation and nonprofit recreation. So now I'm kind of doing it from the other side, helping parks and recreation departments design and plan for their future.
I love it. I was a former, in a former life, I was a civil engineer. I miss my engineering days.
Oh, nice.
A little bit different than creating content for the Parks and Rec industry, but
yeah, just a little.
Yeah. Do you actually? So I'm assuming y'all have engineer. What do you do for the engineering company? Do you just trying to help create connection between other departments, or do you get into the weeds with the engineers?
I get into the weeds a little bit. If it is like a pretty big parks and recreation project, I'll help with some design elements. I'll help with like the community engagement. Also help when we're creating like the master plan.
We lost her.
That's it. The universe just did not want her to fit. It was too much signal.
She just disappeared. She's probably still talking and doesn't even know.
She'll come back. Well, while we're waiting on her to come back, Tracy, why don't you tell us a little bit about your background, like who you were? Go back to like who you were in high school, college. When did you get first exposed to parks and recreation?
I grew up playing sports my whole life: soccer, basketball, a little bit of softball. I was not involved in any type of parks and recreation growing up. We would go to the YMCA every now and then, but my mom was a stay-at-home mom, so I just did a few sports through the YMCA. And then I played sports, like I said, all through my high school and everything. College, I planned to be a high school math teacher. That was my goal. I love math. I love numbers. I went into college thinking that I was going to be a high school math teacher. And then I was like, I don't even learn this stuff in high school. Why do I have to learn it now? They're not even teaching it. And one of my friends was in therapeutic rec. And she said, you should try one of the recreation classes. You know, it's fun. So I looked through them. I got in one and I was like, therapeutic's not for me. But then I found an outdoor parks and rec one. And I was like, oh, this is more my speed. And from then I just totally switched to parks and rec.
Fantastic. And you did this in the middle of your degree, or did you already get your degree?
No, I did it in the middle of my degree. My first 2 years I was doing high school math. And I think the end of my sophomore year, I completely dropped all my math classes and switched everything to parks and rec.
I'm sure all those math classes transferred really neatly into parks and rec.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I mean, you can always use math.
I love spreadsheets. I swear, if I go grocery shopping, I'm making a spreadsheet.
Yeah.
I dream in spreadsheets.
Yeah. I like numbers. I like numbers too.
Yeah. That's rare. And
we lost
yeah,
again.
I think she's gonna. We've got a cameo appearance every now and then by Kristen. You know, maybe tell us what it's like to be a math thinking person, a numbers thinking person in Parks and Rec, because often that's the exact opposite of a Parks and Rec professional. They're more people focused, not maybe numbers focused. How has that helped you over your career?
You do look at budgets maybe a little more and can follow a budget a little better. But I think it's also, I am very resourceful when it comes to our budgets and our programming and just, I don't know, I guess I can, I know how to move things around to make it work better. And if you're not making in this program, you're not going to, you know, make your, I don't know, cover your costs or whatever you need to do. There might be another program that you cover over your costs, so it will balance that out. And knowing how to juggle those programs that all come out of the same account helps. You don't have to stress for that one program if this one's going to cover it.
Yeah. Now, has that helped you in like master planning or grant writing or any of the kind of accounting stuff that a lot of
I think grants a lot. I've applied for a lot of grants, and not to toot my own horn, but I usually get them.
Yeah.
And
what's your secret?
Look at what they're wanting and think of it like you're applying for a job. So look at the grant as a job description, and then look at your project or your program or whatever you're applying for that grant for. Match those goals up to the grant requirements. And doing that, you're accomplishing the goals that they want from the monies that you may or may not receive. That's how I've always done it, is think of it like you're applying for a job. Yeah.
So rather than making the grant fit what you need, make what you need fit what the grant needs. Kind of flip it around. I see.
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So let's go ahead and launch into this Women in Parks and Rec. What was your first exposure?
Well, Kristen said it's not letting her back in, and I don't know if that does anything, but
let me see. I'm going to share that. It should be the same link, but I'm going to send it to her again.
Well, while you do that, I can kind of start talking. I know Women in Parks and Rec really took off during COVID. Everybody was trying to figure out how to connect, how to network, how to still keep moving, how to stay sane during that time. And I stumbled upon the North Carolina Women in Parks and Rec, and I'm pretty sure Kristen and Diana were already kind of leaders in it. Then I threw my name out there to be a part of it and help them plan it. because it is a lot for one person. And the three of us have kind of passed the torch. I think Kristen led it like that first year, and then Diana took the lead, and then I took a lead, and then we recruited a couple more people. So we're kind of trying to pass the torch to some of the others. Slowly, we're getting there, but it's fun. We hosted a table at one conference, and that really made the connection with the women in Parks and Rec, because we were able to talk to them face to face. We were able to see what topics that they wanted to talk about and discuss, or any issues. And that is what really helped kind of take it off, was doing that face-to-face in-person meeting at conference one year.
Fantastic. Kristen, your signal looks infinitely
I'm
better.
back. I'm
Yeah,
back.
so
Can you
much.
guys hear me?
I don't know what you did, but we can
I
see.
moved. I had to move into the lobby area though, so it's not that quiet, but I'm hoping everything's going to work out.
Oh yeah, I can't hear any of the
Okay.
background. So
Okay,
you-
yay.
Yeah.
Okay.
right there.
Good.
Um,
Okay.
All right, so give us
Uh,
your take, Kristen, on women in Parks and Rec.
Oh gosh. I mean, we started this back like right before COVID hit, right? And it kind of came from an idea. There was like a national women in Parks and Recreation group going on. And I was like, you know what? Wouldn't this be really fun if we could get this going on a state level? And luckily, Tracy and Diana hopped on with this crazy idea too. And we kind of got it started. And then, of course, COVID hit, which really put us all back to virtual anyways. But I just heard the end of Tracy's conversation where she was like, there was a conference where we could all get together. And that really, I think, cemented kind of the group itself, and also kind of it was a jumping off point for getting other women more involved, because they were like, hey, this group seems really fun and it's other women. So that really helped kind of get more members into our group.
All right, so maybe y'all can speak a little bit about, let's start with the strengths. What are the strengths of women in Parks and Rec? And then we can go on to maybe some of the obstacles that y'all face.
Strengths.
What advantage do you have of being a woman in Parks and Rec? What advantages do you think you have?
I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't know.
That's a great question, because honestly, women in Parks and Recreation, or women in the Parks and Recreation field, have always been kind of like the underdog. Where there haven't been a lot of women in the leadership roles in Parks and Recreation. And we do see that transitioning a little bit more now, of course. But like 10 years ago, there were maybe like 5 women in a assistant director role across North Carolina, probably. So really, that was another reason that this group was created, is because we could all come together. We could not only vent, but we could talk about how we could help each other grow and get more into the leadership role.
Some of the strengths I think of, just that I think a female would be naturally suited for is, I mean, Parks and Rec build community. They really help nurture a lot of the people that are maybe underserved, whether it be your elderly or the children or single moms that need the after school care. And I think women can identify more with these issues. And then, gosh, women are such natural networkers. Man,
Yeah.
like y'all
I think it's easy for women to step into a leadership role, because who's making all the plans? Who's deciding what programs to sign their children up for? Who's deciding the athletics and how the transportation goes, and what event we're going to go to? It's the women. So it's the moms. So I do, obviously, being a woman in a leadership role, that right there is just an advantage by itself.
Right.
So yeah, Craig, I would definitely have to agree with you there.
Yeah,
Yeah,
because
I used to oversee all of our marketing, and I went to help a co-woman in Parks and Rec. A few years back, she had never done marketing, and I've kind of and she's like, well, how do you do it? How do you get to grow and everything? And I said, well, think of what catches your eye when you're planning stuff to go to your family, like, things that you want to do with your family. What catches your eye? What are things that you know, you look for, whether it's on social media or newspaper or graphic or something, you know, what catches your eye? Because, you know, we are our own clients. Like Kristen said, you know, a lot of us are planning what to do with our families or our friends.
Yep.
And so that's kind of how, like she said, that it's easy for us to go ahead and take the lead on doing those things.
Yeah, because I think the better you can understand the problem that a community faces, the better you can provide solutions to that problem. And so if you look at, like you said, the moms that are trying to enroll their kids in sports or programming or stuff like that, like I would guess that men have a hard time standing in the shoes of the moms that are enrolling all the kids, but not a mom that, like you said, she uses the system. She's a user of the system.
Yeah, we're also naturally nurturing, most of us. Maybe not all females, but majority are naturally nurturing, and that's kind of, you know, with the youth programming and coming in, you know, we naturally go up to the children and talk to them. We don't shy away.
Yeah.
We're planners too. We're really great at time management. We're looking forward to the future and how to plan for that too, and that inherently makes us great leaders as well.
Yeah, and then also it seems like they're very good at budgeting. I mean, just on a family basis, you know, the maybe the man brings in the money, but then she has to figure out, okay, how do we run this family off of this paycheck? And so in the same way, the city gives you, here's your block of money, and then maybe you can go get more with grants or maybe you get vendors to support. But it seems like y'all are very good at accomplishing whatever you need to accomplish with what you have.
Yeah, and we're not scared.
Correct. Yes. Yeah.
Yes. Not afraid to ask for more too.
No.
Right.
No, we're not.
And then also y'all seem to have a very good understanding of the importance of the programming, and what happens when these programs don't get funded or that they don't happen, the repercussions of it, and how that can be, I don't want to say devastating, but it can really impact the lives in a good way. And then in a bad way, if those programs aren't there, like we saw in COVID when parks just got shut down, how that really affects the family and the kids and the whole community. Yeah,
we our department actually stayed open during COVID with our summer camp. We still ran summer camp because we knew, what's everyone going to do with their kids? A lot of people still had to work, whether they're working remote or going into the office. You still needed something to do with the kids, and to also keep some normalcy. You know, yes, it wasn't normal to go with a face mask. That was a little odd, but giving the children somewhere to go during the day and have that schedule, and, you know, letting the parents knowing that there was a place for them to go while they did work remote or go into the office or whatever they had to do. So yeah, we were one of the few that we got the okay to run, and we did.
Fantastic.
Well, eventually Parks and Recreation departments were deemed, what was the word they used? Like
non-essential.
No, I think we were finally deemed essential workers.
Yes, we were essential.
Yeah.
Have you seen our video that we made? It's our most popular video. We made it as a gift to the industry. It's called Why Parks and Rec Are Essential.
I don't think so. Yeah. I have.
Well, I'll play it for y'all, and then I'd love to get y'all's feedback on it to further reinforce how essential Parks and Rec is. Yeah, I'll play this real quick, and then I'd love to get y'all's take on it. Hold on one second.
Every career is a choice, but few careers. Every career is a choice, but few careers.
It's technical difficulty Monday, so that would make sense.
Not once in a while, but every single day.
It would.
Step into a park on a Saturday morning. You'll hear children laughing on the soccer field. Family.
Sorry, that's the one. Maybe that was the problem. Oh man, this is just an exciting Monday here. Here we go. Essential services.
When we talk about essential services, what comes to mind? Police, firefighters, healthcare. But there's another essential service, often overlooked, yet always present. Parks and recreation.
I don't see anything.
Parks and Rec is health.
You do?
It's the walking
I
trail
don't see anything.
that lowers blood pressure. The recreation center, where seniors fight isolation the swim lessons that prevent tragedy before it happens. This isn't a luxury, it's a lifeline. Parks and Rec is safety. A playground instead of a street corner, a basketball court instead of trouble, a summer camp where every child belongs. It's not just about activity, it's about protection, prevention, and possibility. Parks and Rec is community, the festival that brings neighbors together, the cultural event that teaches respect and diversity, the open space where a city breathes. It builds bridges where division once stood. It gives people a reason to gather, to connect, to care. And Parks and Rec is economics. It strengthens property values. It drives tourism through events and trails. It saves on healthcare costs. Every dollar invested multiplies, feeding back into schools, into safety, into growth. Essential service is not just about survival, it's about thriving. And Parks and Recreation is where thriving begins. In wellness, in equity, in culture, and in joy. Parks and Rec isn't extra, it's essential. For our health, for our safety, for our communities, for our future. A message from the Parks and Recreation community.
Kristen, were you able to see any of that?
Oh, she's muted.
I didn't see
Hold
any
on.
of it. I didn't. See
Oh
any
my
of it,
goodness.
but it's okay.
Well,
She can go
Tracy-
back and watch it. I saw it.
Yeah.
Could you hear it?
I can only imagine. No, I couldn't. No, I couldn't see. I couldn't hear it. For a minute, my screen went black, and I went muted. And then I was like, "Well, is someone going to recognize that I'm not here and let me back in?" I was about to sign out and sign back in.
Welcome to live content.
This
Tracy,
has been fun.
why don't you give her maybe a rundown of what the video was for you, and then why do you think Parks and Rec? Essentially, it says why Parks and Rec is essential, and how we have these other departments like police, fire, healthcare that we consider and label essential. And I think during COVID, we recognized how essential our park systems are. And many of the times you're fighting for these budgetary dollars with elected officials. And it's hard for them to stand in your shoes, living the Parks and Rec in your career. And so this is a way to kind of reframe the conversation and bring them into what Parks and Rec does, and then maybe start the conversation from there.
Yeah. I know, because like I said, I have seen that before on a couple of the other episodes, but I'm going to say the one thing that really stands out to me, and kind of one of my goals that I do in my job, is to create that community. I live north of Charlotte, you know, I work in the town of Huntersville, but also live close by. And there are a lot of transplants there. There's hardly, it's rare if you meet someone that was born and raised there. I know a handful of people. But with all the transplants, building that community where, you know, they're from all over the states or the world, and they come to this town, and, you know, they meet people through the schools, our summer camp programs, a lot of our little mini athlete programs that we run, and then also our events. That is what makes it feel like home, when you have those places to go to, and those activities to participate in, and those events to go listen to the music and explore the area. So I am always trying to focus on doing placemaking for our community, and making sure that I am offering the residents of Huntersville things to do that are free and affordable. All of our rides at our events are free, which is rare. Now, yes, we do have long lines, but everything's free. The only thing that you're paying for is if you choose to buy something from a vendor or food or drinks. But everything is free at all of our events. And that's one thing that we take pride in. And thank you to all of our sponsors as well.
Yes. Yes. Kristen?
Yeah, I mean, it's a no-brainer to me that we were listed as essential. I mean, Parks and Recreation departments support communities, you know, through, they support them mentally, emotionally, physically, provide education. I mean, it just allows, and it's accessible to everyone.
Yeah.
So, I mean, no matter your race, your gender, your financial situation,
Your age.
yeah. So it was a
age.
no-brainer that Parks and Recreation departments were listed as essential during COVID. Because I mean, it's always been essential to me, just with education and background in Parks and Recreation. It was just a no-brainer.
Yeah. And it
Yeah.
seems like the ones that were listed as essential were more of a responsive or a reactive side of government.
hmm
And kind of like if you neglect your body, then you
Mhm.
better up your insurance, health insurance maybe, or life insurance even.
Yeah.
And a community is the same way, that if you neglect your community and there's not constructive stuff for the children to do or for people to do, then that's usually when they get in trouble. And that's when, of course, the other essential services have to get involved. So maybe talk about how Parks and Rec is the preventative side of creating a healthy community that you don't have to respond to when you have an unhealthy community. Tracy, would you like to go first?
I mean, yeah, it's I am a big fan of outdoors, and it's getting outdoors, and like I said again, you know, creating that sense of community where we work is huge, and making sure that we are providing things for the community to go to have access to, whether it's on their own time, whether they're registering for a program. Parks, we were heavily we had a lot of athletic focused parks. We have now started to focus more on passive parks, where you don't have to be, you know, registered for a sport to go and use the facilities, or the fields aren't always blocked. We're trying to create more areas to where families or friends can go out and meet and go kick the ball, or, you know, throw the football around. More things out in the woods, more trails, whether they're natural surface or greenways. And I guess that's being outdoors is, I mean, I will preach that to everybody. If you're having a bad day, I would love the sun. I am a sun lover.
Yeah.
Yes. Go outside, go take a break. If you feel stressed, go walk around the building for 15 minutes. And I think we do that naturally. And it's making sure that we're providing that and teaching others, and giving them the opportunity to have that in their community, as much as we can is so beneficial.
Yeah, 100%. Kristen?
Yeah, I mean, to kind of just explain a little bit further, go off of what Tracy's saying, as horrible as COVID was, it really gave Parks and Recreation departments an opportunity to shine on everything they provide. I mean, take a look at national parks right now. They're having to set limits. There's absolutely no parking spots in the parking areas. I mean, the outdoors itself really got to shine during COVID. People like Tracy and I, and I'm sure yourself, already knew how amazing the outdoors were and all the great benefits that come with being outdoors. But now that we've kind of been through it and we're on the other side of that pandemic, we've now got an opportunity to still carry on what we did during COVID, continue to market how great the outdoors are, the benefits that come along with recreation, the benefits that Parks and Recreation departments provide for the community. And I think a lot of Parks and Recreation departments saw that in budgets, just because we were listed as essential. Grant funding, there was a lot of grant funding that came out of the COVID area too. But yeah, I mean, yeah.
Now, Kristen, you said you have to leave at 12:55. Did I hear that right?
Yeah, I got to walk into
Right.
this first session over here. I got to get these CEUs, man.
That's it. Okay. Well,
Yeah.
I'm going to give you the last 6 minutes of your time with us to tell us what Women in Parks and Rec meant for you and why that's important and what are y'all doing to grow it.
Yeah, it meant community. Like we're all so spread out across North Carolina. Even getting together, it used to be once a month virtually, but now that we're kind of back in person here and there, we do it every other month. But it definitely meant community. It meant meeting more women in Parks and Recreation that were kind of going through some of the same things that I was going through. I felt stagnant, felt like I had really no help. That a lot of people were just sitting around in the same seats waiting for their time to retire, and I'm a go-getter, and you know, I knew I could change things. I knew, like, I just knew, like, I wanted to be in it, you know. So getting others together like Tracy and Diana, and coming up with presentations and speakers, and just everything recreation and catered to women. But yeah, it was the community, and it was meeting the other women in North Carolina. That way, when we did get together in person, it'd just be that much more fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, I remember going on a little bike ride I have a pile of kids and most of them are females. And the boys would always like be in the front of the pack.
Mm-hmm.
And my oldest son, Gabriel, was leading this trail of bicycles going through New Orleans. And Maggie, one of my daughters, was like, Papa, can I get in the front and lead? And Gabriel looks back and says, don't ask to lead, just lead. And that spread throughout all of my other girls. And from then on, they stopped asking permission. And they just got in the front
man.
They just
do it. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's what you have to do
sometimes.
That's it. You just have to get up there and start leading, and people will follow the leader.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Is there anything that kind of motivated you to kind of take charge and just say, all right, we're going this way and we're going to lead this industry?
Yeah. I mean, it hasn't always been easy creating this group. And I know Tracy could probably agree to that too. But I mean, I think it was just determination of wanting to know more women in this field within our state. And that was kind of the drive behind that, I think, for both Tracy and I. I just didn't want anything to really hold that back. There were other groups within our association. You know, you've always got the young network, the young professional network.
Yeah.
You've got the directors network. Yeah, I mean, I was just like, you know what? Why not?
Yeah.
I mean, why not?
Well, and I think Kristen and I and Diana, I think our personalities are a lot alike. And like she said, she doesn't like to wait around, and I don't either. I'll just do stuff myself. And what's the saying? You beg for forgiveness after.
Yeah.
I'm one of those. If I can figure out how to do it, I'll do it, and it'll always be awesome.
Yeah, exactly.
The after.
We don't do anything half-assed. Yeah.
No, we don't.
Yeah.
That's right.
And that's kind of how we took the lead and got this up and going. It's like, okay, the three of us are just going to get this going.
Yeah.
We're going to, I will say the in-person at the conference is what really kicked it off.
I know.
We gave out the Taylor Swift bracelets. Everyone was making theirs. If you're a Swiftie fan, we were so popular. Like we were the most popular table at the expo, and everybody's like, "What are you guys doing?" We're like, "We're giving away friendship bracelets."
Yeah, yay!
And even guys were coming over to make them for their daughters and stuff. So it was super cute.
Yeah. And next year, it sounds like we're doing fairy hair. So we've already got what we're doing next year. But I mean, it's just like fun stuff like that. I mean, Parks and Recreation is always fun, but there's a lot of stressful things you've got to deal with too. So that's kind of another thing too. We just wanted an opportunity for women to get together, have fun, talk about all the stuff that's happening with their department in their lives, hold absolutely no judgment, and then just carry back on with your day, you know?
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
All right. So Kristen, closing remarks. If there's a female in Parks and Rec that is hearing your message and it's like needs to take that next step to lead, what kind of encouraging words would you give them?
Just say keep going.
Mhm.
But no idea is too big. Keep going, figure it out. And even when you get stuck, lean on your network.
Yep.
But
Yeah.
don't give up. Yep.
Yep.
Yeah. I can tell you,
Embrace the fear.
yes, I've
Embrace that
interviewed
fear. Yeah.
I've interviewed some amazing female leaders in this industry, and as creating a media company for the industry, I don't see this. I don't know. I just see some very powerful female leaders in this industry, and maybe it's because I'm interviewing these top leaders and stuff. But I'm just like, man, that is a powerhouse woman there.
Yeah, man. There's a lot of us out there.
Yeah.
There
there
are.
Yep.
It's a growing number. Y'all are doing such a great job. Well, Kristen, thank you so much for coming on the show today.
I'm glad we finally got our internet issues figured out. And
Yes.
if we do another one with Diana, then let's definitely do it because I'm sure
Yeah.
she'd love to speak to it as well.
Yeah. I
Yeah,
agree.
well, I'll add her to, or if y'all want to add her to that little LinkedIn conversation we got
Yeah.
going on, and
Okay.
we'll just pick another date and do this again.
Yep.
Yeah,
But,
that's perfect.
I'll take this opportunity to go ahead and play a promotion for our facilities maintenance show and for our youth sports mastery show, and then we'll let you go so that you can go get those
Sounds
CEUs
good.
over at the convention.
Thanks, guys. It was so good. Thanks for having
Yeah, great having you today, Kristen.
me.
Thanks.
Bye.
At DPRS Media Co., we don't just create content, we elevate community through storytelling. Now, we're proud to introduce the newest addition to the family. Welcome to Youth Sports Mastery, the podcast where champions are shaped, not just on the field, but in life. Hosted by National Academy of Athletics founder Aaron Locks. Youth Sports Mastery dives deep into how youth sports can empower kids, strengthen communities, and build leaders. From coaching culture to recreation strategy, and from player development to parent impact, every episode brings game-ready insight from the people making it happen. Youth Sports Mastery goes live every Thursday at 1:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Only on the Daily Parks and Rec Show, sponsored by National Academy of Athletics. And powered by DPRS Media Co. This is where purpose meets play.
Behind every thriving park, every safe playground, every event-ready field, there's a team working before sunrise and long after sunset. This is Facility Maintenance, the only show created for and by the unsung heroes of parks and recreation. Brought to you by DPRS Media Co., where real work gets real recognition. From restrooms to rec centers, HVAC to turf tech, we go beyond the job site into the heart of operations that keep our communities moving. Our mission? To elevate maintenance teams through stories, solutions, and shared experience. Our vision? A world where every facility crew is seen, valued, and fully supported. Each episode features operators, innovators, and leaders, sharing tools, tech, and tactics that make the impossible look easy. Facility maintenance isn't just a job. It's purpose, it's passion, and now it's a show. Facility Maintenance, where tools meet purpose, where work becomes legacy.
All right. So, well, hold on. I think Tracy's. Kristen's still kind of halfway there.
No, she's there.
Okay, there she goes.
That was a great ending to how this day has gone.
I love it. I love it. Hopefully the convention goes off a little bit better. We're getting all that bugs out of the way for the whole convention. All right. So talk about the early days of Women in Parks and Rec, at least from a national level, because when I started in COVID, we started Parks and Rec Done Right Facebook group.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the groups we were trying to catch was the Women in Parks, which we never did.
Yeah.
I think we
So,
kind
I
of
mean,
approached 5,000 members.
Yeah, I mean, and a lot of it was the social media. You know, it was the Facebook group. It was just connecting through mainly social media, and then at the state conference, because some of the pioneers of the National Women's in Parks and Rec are from North Carolina. So they would have a Women in Parks and Rec social. And that's kind of where I learned a lot about it, was just going to that social. And I was like, oh, and then Kristen was like, yeah, we're going to start this North Carolina one. And so I kind of was at the end of the Women's in Parks and Rec. I'm not on social media a lot. So because I was doing it so much for my job, I was like, I'm on it all the time. So I would check in with with the National Women in Parks and Rec just occasionally throughout the day. But I mean, it's just the topics and the networking and just the support that you had. And it's great to see what people in, New Mexico or California are doing, or just great to see that they have the same problems that, we have in North Carolina, and that you're not alone.
Yeah. Did you go to Orlando by any chance?
I did not. No, we were going to, and then the timing, and there was stuff going on. I have a senior in high school right now, so I'm kind of picking and choosing what I'm going to miss and what I don't want to miss.
Yeah. Are you planning on going to, is it not Pennsylvania? Well, it is in Pennsylvania,
I think it is
Philadelphia.
in Philly.
Yeah.
Is it Philly? Yeah. Yes,
Yeah.
I am. Yeah. Next year I am planning on going. Yeah.
All right. Well, one thing I wanted to do is, I don't know, in Orlando, we had this whole like recording studio with the mics and the lights, and I want to set up 2 of them. And so I'll offer this to y'all if y'all want to, anyone
Okay.
in Parks and Rec, that y'all could actually host some live shows from the convention and interview women in Parks and Rec and have that be
Oh, that
part
would
of
be
the
fun.
daily Parks and Rec show. So maybe we can get that going. We got almost a year to plan it.
Yeah. 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 And we have another, Jennifer Hance, who also helps us out in the planning. She's, I think director maybe for Greensboro. I can't remember her exact title, but she oversees all of the marketing. But she is great. Like if we need questions or something, she's like, beep, 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 here's what we need to ask this person. And we're like, this is perfect, Jennifer.
Yeah. Yeah. So let's go into what are some of the issues that you see? What are some of the obstacles that you see that are facing women in Parks and Rec?
Trying to think, because where I am, it's smaller. I don't sometimes I don't think women, I don't have this problem, but I don't think they'll speak up for themselves. I think they'll just accept, they'll accept failure if that's what it is. They'll accept it. Oh, I didn't get the job, or, oh, I can't do this program. They won't always speak up and ask why. Why can't I do this? How can we make it happen? I think that's one of them that I've noticed with some of the women that I've worked with, is they don't always speak up for themselves. But I like Kristen said, we're becoming a pretty strong force in this, in Parks and Rec, and watch out, guys.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know if you've listened to Jordan Peterson any, but he talks a lot about how the difference between males and females is men are more disagreeable, so that if they see something and they don't agree with it, or they think it should go this way, they will speak up. And even if they're shot down, they're going to say what they want to say.
Yes.
And that the in general, it's a very general statement.
Yes, exactly.
But in general, the females will just kind of accept it as it is. And so they have to be more adaptive with that. It's not going to come natural to them. But when they are, I think they find that they are super passionate about what they believe in. They just got to speak up and step out and lead it.
Yeah. Yeah. And I've even I've been sitting in a meeting sometimes, and I'm not so much now in my older career life, but in my younger career life, if you're you're sometimes scared to ask those questions because you don't want to look stupid. And I think that's men and women in general, the younger ones but then 5 minutes later, someone asked that question that I had in my head. And I was like, I should have said it. I should have just asked the question.
Yes.
And like I said, that's men, and that's kind of just younger in your career in general is you're kind of scared to ask those questions because you don't want to look like you don't know what you're doing, or that you're dumb or whatever.
Yeah. Well, newsflash, none of us know what we're doing.
I know. That's why I said yeah. In my older career years, I've learned that no questions are dumb. That really is a
Right,
true statement.
right.
And you don't know unless you ask.
Yeah. I was watching an interview with Elon Musk. He's an entrepreneur that I've been following for quite a long time. And he has a general rule saying that we're all wrong. It's just a matter of how wrong. And our goal is not to be right. It's to be less wrong today than we were yesterday. Find that 1 or 2% incremental improvement. And he said the worst thing is that when I make a rule, it never gets questioned. And so he says, you should always question my rules because nobody's questioning them.
Yeah.
And he said it's very important for everyone in an organization to question the status quo.
Mm-hmm.
Otherwise, you get into this rut of, well, it's always been done that way. And so
Right.
you never make any progress. You never make those incremental changes because you just are afraid to question the norm.
Right.
So yeah, definitely encourage questioning of all the rules that we have. And like Tracy said before, beg forgiveness rather than
Yeah.
ask permission.
Yep. That's my motto.
That's it. All right. So what does the future look like? What do y'all want to see? What do y'all want to see women in Parks and Rec grow to?
I want, like I said, Diana, Kristen, and I have been doing it for, I don't know, a good 5 years now.
Mhm.
And I think it would be nice to be able to pass the torch and to get others involved and taking the leadership of it, and kind of us stepping back and being more, just guidance and help them when needed or jump in when needed. But we would love to pass the torch to other strong women leaders in Parks and Rec that have interest in, being a part of the group and maybe leading the group if they can. And that's probably a goal of it. I think everyone leans on us because we can do it with our eyes closed, which is good and bad.
Right.
But then you get stuck.
Yes. Yes. Well, I can tell you the as far as YPN, shout out to Gabby Vera, Molly Keys, Megan Cool. I mean, I can think of just a lot of very powerful, strong female leaders that are coming up as the next generation of
Right.
leaders. It seems like female in Parks and Rec is in good hands when I'm looking at
Yeah.
YPN. It's a
Yeah.
ton of female leaders on that side.
Yeah. I know Megan. She is a strong one.
Oh yeah, she's a
Yeah.
rising star. All right, so I do have we have a little tradition in the Daily Parks and Rec show that one of my previous guests left you a question.
Oh,
And
okay. Fun.
okay, so the question comes from, let me see who it came from. Curtis Coates over in Perry, Georgia.
Okay.
Well, this might not work. Have you ever seen the Parks and Rec comedy series?
Now, I haven't watched it through and through, but I have seen parts of it, but I have not sat and watched the whole thing. Now, it's huge. A lot of our athletics team and our rec center and our department watch it, and they do quotes from it all the time.
Yeah.
But I can't say I have binge watched it or been that drawn into it.
Okay, well,
I do
I
like
think you
it.
get the general thesis is just the craziness that kind of, you can't make this stuff up.
Yes. Yes.
All right. So the question that he has for you is, what is your pilot episode from your career and background and everything you've seen? What would be your pilot episode to a Parks and Rec show, a comedy show?
Oh gosh, we've had a lot of those. Oh my gosh, that's a hard one. I thought there was going to be an easy question.
Thanks, Curtis.
Yeah. A pilot episode that would be, we do relate a lot to the show, and because we've even made comments, and I wish I could remember exactly what I was talking to, but to my director, I've been in his office before and I've said, like, are we in an episode of Parks and Rec? Like, what is, I think it's working in local government in general. Just comical things happen and you're like, is this real? Like, did they, like what's oh, actually I can think of one. I oversee our public art commission, and I was putting a, I have to take it to the town board. I think that's where most of my comical things are, is when I have to stand in front of the town board. And a question was asked of me. I say a lot in my face, but I kept my face straight, which was perfect. But we had sailboats on it. We're by Lake Norman. And I just needed them to approve the design. And there were sailboats that were going on the back of the bench. And he brought up cows and something about, why can we put a cow on this in the sailboat, or like, I don't know how my face stayed straight, but I was like, what are you talking about? Cows in a sailboat on public art bench? Like, that was, I need to send you, because we did Zoom, and I wonder if we still have it. I need to pull that back up so I can get the exact verbiage of what was said. But even my director, after the meeting, he said, you did a great job holding your face together. Like, are you really asking me this question? Like,
what was his reasoning? Is he like a cattle rancher or something, or?
Because there's farms in Huntersville. Like, there's it used to be dairy farm land, so he wanted cows in this. Like, I was just like, oh my, like, are you serious?
So you get the Chick-fil-A cows up there?
Yeah. So my pilot episode would be presenting public art to a town board. That would be my pilot episode.
Reminds me of the what was that picture of the dogs playing poker? You've got cows sailing the ocean.
I really didn't understand it, but that was a quite comical moment. Now I want to go back and look up that town board meeting and see. It was during COVID too.
That's it. We need to put together a real Parks and Rec show, a comedy series.
Yeah.
Real life.
Oh, there is a lot of it. I need to start keeping a journal. We all should keep a journal of it and just share it.
Yeah. All right. So what question would you like to leave for my next guest?
Oh gosh.
It can be a serious one or a fun one. I mean, we've even had like, if you were a piece of playground equipment, what would it be and why? And then we've had other more serious ones, like if you have an unlimited budget, what kind of project would you think would impact your community?
Yeah.
All kind of stuff.
I would like to hear, which I don't know who the guest is, but their biggest Parks and Rec fail.
Biggest Parks and Rec fail. What I'm curious as to what yours would be for that. What would be your answer to that one?
That's gonna be a hard. I have to think of it. You can't put me on the spot. I'm putting someone else on the spot.
That's right.
I want to hear what they say.
Giving you a dose of your own medicine over there.
I know. I mean, I haven't really had one. Well, I mean, we did fail at Women in Parks and Rec a little bit at the beginning. So, I mean, that we thought it was going to be awesome. And when you have 5 people join your Zoom call, that's a big fail. Right. But we had to step back and readjust, and we kept going. We didn't shy away from it. We had to talk to the community, our audience, and see what they wanted and when the best time for them to meet. So, I mean, we were leaning to fail at the beginning. Yeah. But we redirected.
I find that there's fear on both sides. You're like, what if nobody shows up? And then what if everybody shows up? And then, and I've had that happen to me in on both extremes. I did matter of fact, at Georgia, I gave a talk on social media and telling your story in Parks and Rec. And I just thought it was going to be like a small classroom or something. The classroom fit 90 people and 110 showed up. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm not prepared enough for this talk. I didn't realize this was going to be such an interesting topic. And I felt like I did okay. But there is that fear that when you start something big, it'll flop, it'll succeed. And either way, here I am steering the ship. And so we had like a fail of
people when the Frozen frenzy was big, we did a movie in the park and we were showing Frozen, and I was fairly new at working for the town of Huntersville, and we had lines for cars to get in. I had to call our assistant director at the time, and I was like, Scott, I need you to come help me. There are cars everywhere. This is a Frozen frenzy. Like, I don't know what to do. I don't know where to put and luckily he lived close by and he came down, and we just had to start parking people and turning people away. That happened. We did fireworks during Halloween one year, and we didn't realize how big it was going to be. There was a line a mile down to get into the venue that we were at, but we had no idea. We're like, oh my gosh. I mean, people couldn't even get in for the fireworks. I mean, it was crazy. So, I mean, those were fails, but they were good fails.
Yeah. Yeah. And Parks and Rec people, I think, are especially with special events, because sometimes you'll have a special event, more people show up, and you don't have enough bathroom, you don't have enough food, you don't have enough vendors. And then the next one, you're prepared for all that, and then the downpour rain just comes on your event, and you just have to deal with it.
Yeah. And I will say that we've learned, and a lot of us with the town, like when we're doing an event, we know what we forgot to do or what we did wrong. But the people that come to the events, they don't know. They don't know any different. They don't know that bounce house didn't show up. They don't know that the food truck didn't, they don't know those things. Now, yes, bathrooms, that's an issue that everybody sees. But a lot of the stuff that we might beat ourselves up on, nobody knows but us. So we have to remember to make that note for the next year. Don't forget to do this. Make sure we do this. And that's what we have to remind ourselves a lot at events. We're like, nobody knows but us. We're okay. We're okay. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. I've attended some of those 5K events where there's not near enough porta potties out there. And we're the race is getting ready to start, and there's a line a mile long. All right. So last thing I want you to get a comment on. Usually at the end of the show, I'll ask if you're sitting in front of a young group of college kids or high school kids that don't know what they want to do with their life, but I'd like you to specifically speak to the females in that classroom. Why should they consider Parks and Recreation as a career path?
I'm big on fun. It's a lot of fun. And it has been flexible for me as a mother of two throughout my career. And yes, I know not all departments are flexible, but I have been fortunate enough to where it has worked with raising a family. Great work-life balance as a mother of two. It's fun. It's fun. We get paid to play. And so why not have fun with it? That's my biggest thing is make sure whatever you're doing, you enjoy it and it's worth your time. And it's fun.
Wow. That's a powerful testimony right there. Now, we got college kids signing up left and right for this industry.
I know. I'm recruiting my friends' kids that don't know what to do. I'm like, come. And I have some of our staff that have talked to some of my friends' kids, because I was like, they don't know what to do in college. I said, come hang out at the rec center. Just talk. Just see what it is. You love sports. You don't want an office job. You want to be able to get up and move and run and, talk to everyone. And a couple of them are like, yeah, I might go in for Parks and Rec.
Yeah. Well, if you
now,
know
neither of my kids are doing Parks and Rec, but
yeah. It's hard to follow in your parents' footsteps.
Yeah.
Like you just want to do the opposite of whatever they're doing.
It is.
Tracy, if you know of any interns that might be interested, we just started our internship program. We have 2 fantastic interns, but we have 4 more slots opened up. So if you're in broadcast journalism, marketing, mass communication, anywhere in the country, and would love to do an internship with the Daily Parks and Rec Show and help create media for this industry. Help us get in touch with them. Well, Tracy, thank you so much for coming on the show today. It was a good trial run for women in Parks and Rec. So let's maybe schedule another show to where we can get Diana on and get better connection and
Yeah.
do another great show on women in Parks and Rec.
Yeah, definitely. So nice to meet you.
Yeah, you too, Tracy. Well, y'all have a great rest of your convention.
Okay. Thank you.
All right. Take care. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye. All right. So that was not too bad on the technical challenge stuff. We did a great episode despite all of that. I really like to see women in Parks and Rec grow. They were somebody we were trying to catch on Facebook just as a group size. And it seems like every time we would add 500 members to our Facebook group on the Parks and Rec Done Right, they would add like 1,000. I'm like, oh my gosh, these women network so fast. So very talented women in Parks and Recreation, and anything I can do to help out, hit me up and we'll definitely get a show going for them. All right. So we do have some really great announcements coming up. So December 16th with John Prue, he is going to help us launch a Parks and Rec in the military. So for those of you who don't know, there's about 300 military bases nationwide, globally, and they all have a park system essentially embedded within those bases. And so we're going to do a weekly show all about that. We're also launching, with the help of Outdoor Link, one of our primary sponsors, a Smart Cities Parks and Rec show. And then Jordan Ziff and Lisa are helping us to launch, or actually it's their thing. We're just helping to produce a show all about her sports and being a pro athlete or an athlete inside of a female athlete, whether it's pro sports, college sports, stuff like that. So those are 3 shows that we are producing. And with the help of one of our interns, Michael Moreau, we're really going to double down on our facilities maintenance show, which is a morning show, 10:30 a.m. Eastern, Monday through Thursday. So a lot of great stuff happening. And I'm finally picking up another networker that can help us connect and schedule people for show prep calls and hosts and guests to come on the show. So we're actually picking up a lot of speed and momentum, approaching our 400th episode. Hopefully we can hit 400 episodes by the end of the year. Just crossed 2,000 followers on our LinkedIn, growing our Facebook page. We will be launching an Instagram page for an Instagram account for the Daily Parks and Rec show, growing on X. And but if you like the content we're producing, it would help out a lot if everyone would go subscribe to our YouTube channel. That'll open up some functionality so we can just get the word out and the message and the stories about what's going on in Parks and Recreation. So I think I've got just about everything here set up in New Orleans so that I just got to get my internet connection stronger so we don't have an issue like we had today. I'll do that today, I promise. But I think that's all we have for y'all today. Again, thank you, Tracy and Kristen, for coming on and telling us all about women in Parks and Rec in that great state of North Carolina. Y'all have a great co-convention. For those who don't know, North and South Carolina come together as states and host one big convention. That's going on right now. Today's like their first day. So 2 great states that do Parks and Rec really well. Hopefully I can attend that as the Daily Parks and Rec show one day, and we can do a booth just for females in Parks and Rec and just get to see how the Carolinas do Parks and Recreation. All right, so that's all I have for y'all today. Y'all have a great rest of your week. I hope y'all had a good holidays, and now we're entering into the Christmas holiday season. So we got a lot of great holiday spirits coming up as we wrap up the end of the year, and looking forward to launching 2026 and having a great 2026. So y'all have an awesome week. Love you guys. Thanks a lot. Bye.
Welcome to DPRS Media Co., the first media company built for the people behind the Parks and Rec community. We don't just cover on Parks and Rec, we elevate it, we amplify it, we honor it. At the heart of everything we do is one mission: to serve the public servants, the professionals who design, maintain, and lead the parks that shape our communities. Under the Daily Parks and Rec show, we produce 6 powerful platforms. Leadership in Parks and Rec, a spotlight on directors, superintendents, and visionaries shaping the future of public spaces. Facility maintenance, where the boots hit the ground, a deep dive into the systems, crews, and craftsmanship that keep our parks clean, safe, and beautiful. Young Professionals Network, shining a light on the next generation of Parks and Rec. Students, interns, and mentors sharing how we build a legacy together. Youth Sports Mastery, sponsored by National Academy of Athletics. This series is for coaches, parents, and rec leaders working to make youth sports fun, fair, and meaningful again. The Rec Room, hosted by the passionate leaders of Henry County Parks and Rec. This show brings frontline energy and real-life stories from the field. And the weekly Parks and Rec Post, our official newsletter delivering stories, insights, and community wins every week. We are DPRS Media Co. LLC, a media company with a mission to uplift the professionals who serve every community, every park, every day.